You're listening to Folks. With Matty Orme on KCCLIVE.
First of all, just thanks for it. You want to tell us a bit about the band?
A bit about the band? We formed 2 years ago.
Just a year and a bit, just under 2 years.
Just under 2 years ago, and we had 3 weekends of rehearsals, and then we got offered a gig with a group called Colorama, and it was a case of it's now or never, you know what I mean? When are you ever ready? So we went and did this gig with Colorama, and then we've been touring ever since, so for the past 18 months.
Where's the name Folks come from?
Oh, sorry.
It's from it's an old word, you know what I mean? In the history of language, in etymology, the origin of words, it's a really old word. So we liked it for that reason, but I suppose, I don't know, we saw some footage of George Bush and he was saying we're going to go and get them folks, and kind of like that outsider aesthetic.
I first heard the band when I seen it with Band of Skulls, and they recommended me. How was it to support them?
It's very nice that they recommended us.
It is really nice, yeah.
How was it?
It was amazing, yeah. They're personally one of my favourite bands of the last few years. So for me personally, it was amazing, to be honest, yeah. And seeing them every night was great because they're an amazing live band. They're a sort of live band that change every night as well. They're very much like I wouldn't say jam band, but you know what I mean. They're not stuck to a certain set every night. They do the same songs, but you know what I mean. Each song is different every night. One
thing that we liked about them as well is that they're really independent, so they're on their own label.
Yeah.
And they just have a marketing and distribution deal, and then they've got this really small team of people. And I think it's really important nowadays, at least, to just be a small little group of people, so everybody carries a burden of responsibility, and just it's amazing that they can do it on a worldwide basis. It's the kind of thing that we're aiming for.
How did supporting them come about?
No idea, yeah. I think they probably had like a choice of bands. Their agent will have given them a choice of bands, giving them like CDs to listen to or something, and then, you know, giving them a history.
Yeah, whatever.
They seem alright.
What was the experience like?
Brilliant. It's, you know, they're...
So I didn't know the question.
What was the experience like?
Well, we've played with loads of other bands, from the Staves, Colorama, We Are Augustines, Noel Gallagher, Miles Kane. We toured with all of them, and I think they've got a different audience to any of those bands. It's more of a... How would you describe it, Tommy?
I don't know. I think there's some people that really get Band of Skulls, and some people that are into sort of I don't know, like
they've probably got diverse record collections.
Yeah.
So I imagine that when we came on stage, like, who the fuck are these? But then, in some way, we may have managed to charm them in some way.
You just mentioned Noel Gallagher. I was to support like one of the biggest acts around at the minute.
Yeah, that was good as well. That was really good. Some of the venues, I mean, it took us to countries, never mind venues that we've never been to. Like, I'd never been to Switzerland before. Where else? Bloody hell, Germany. I've never been to Germany before. And playing with the Gallagher really meant I could do that. And the venues were amazing as well. Particularly, I think it was like Hamburg and Berlin or something like that. One of those venues was just massive. It was just shy of 10,000 or something. What was that, 8,000, something like that?
Yeah, it's really funny because when you we hadn't been to Germany before. We never played in Germany. But you get regional variations, so the temperament of the population is different, you know, from north to south.
Yeah.
So I can't remember where it was, but there was one audience, and it was 10,000 people in an arena, and they're all kind of sat there like that.
Yeah. Clap, I think, yeah.
But by the time you get to Munich, it's fucking mental. You know?
Hailing from the northwest, is it always special to gig in Liverpool?
Liverpool's brilliant. Worked down in Liverpool loads, you know, we've recorded at Elevator Studios, the Motor Museum, collaborated with a lot of Scousers, like, you know, there's a great sound engineer currently in Jordan called Dave Scott, who we've worked with quite a bit, and surprisingly for a band that come out of Manchester, we get quite a nice reception. How many gigs have we done here? About 5, 6?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. For one place, we've done quite a lot here.
Where's
Sound City? Last year actually, we went to Sound City. We did that. The first time we played that, it was really good. At the festival.
Where's your favourite place to gig?
And generally.
Depends, I suppose.
I really liked it when we played here at the Casimir.
Yeah, that was a good gig, yeah.
That was a good gig.
That was part of the festival as well, wasn't it?
I just like the actual internal space of that building, because you've got like balconies and you've got like seating areas,
You get
and
onto
you've
the
got
stage from the
poles.
roof. Well, not the roof, but you get onto the stage from high up, don't you? You walk down the stage to the back of the stage.
So the vibe was really good when we played, and there was a group called the Sundowners that came down to watch us there, and we'd played with them quite a bit.
Yeah, nice.
So when you see, you're playing your stuff on stage, and when they come over and like acknowledge you and shit, it's very heartwarming. Makes it play a bit better.
But also, favourite places to play, got to be abroad, because it's still novelty for us.
Rome was good.
Yeah, Rome was amazing. And like, I mean, I mentioned it before, but going to Switzerland was something that I've never done before, and it's quite. We only spent, not very long there. Almost spent less than a day there. I was just slept there, but we didn't spend very long there at all. But it's quite an amazing city. It's Europe.
Yeah, so Le Grand Rex in Paris. That was an insane gig.
Well. At the end of the Noel Gallagher tour, we did 2 gigs of our own in Frankfurt. Some promoter over there heard us and wanted us to play, and that was a beautiful city as well, wasn't it?
What's the
summer, but it was very warm.
What's the best gig you've ever played?
There's been some times we've played in the rehearsal room in the early days when we first got together. You're thinking, fucking hell, I wish we were on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of my favourite ones in recent times was supporting band schools in Sheffield. We played there 3 or 4 times. Really like that venue, and I remember that was a particularly good gig. I can't remember why, but I think everyone just sounded really fucking good.
Yeah, Brixton Academy gig that we did with band schools. That's our biggest UK gig to date, I think.
Yeah, no, that was. Yeah, I take it back. That was my favourite one.
Yeah, and it was insane seeing the crowd really going through.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like normally a reserved kind of guy on stage, but even I got into it.
You got excited, didn't you?
Very excited.
How would you describe one of your gigs?
Badass.
It's like badass is a good word.
Scott, how would you describe one of our gigs? How would you describe one of our gigs?
Psychedelic trip party.
Psychedelic trip party.
Yeah.
A badass psychedelic trip party.
Yeah, I like that.
Got like nice songs in that as well.
Do you write many of your songs on the road?
Not yet. We've worked on songs on the road, you know what I mean?
In sound checks and stuff like that.
Do all your songs have a meaning?
Every one of them has got a different meaning.
Your track My Mother was given away for free. Why was this?
I mean, everything has to be given away for free these days, isn't it? Not everything, but music-wise, even like the most established bands in the world have to give things away for free. Otherwise, people just aren't interested. Unfortunately, that's what I think. I don't know.
What's life like on the road?
Great, yeah. Free food, free beer. What's it like?
Scott described it the other day. It's a bit like being on holiday, but with like a couple of hours work every day.
Have you always wanted to be musicians?
Yeah.
Nah. I'm only doing it because I'm allergic to wasps. I used to be a gardener and I was really happy doing that.
Did you ever imagine your band to be here today when it was formed?
Here,
Like doing
like
supporting Noel Gallagher and band of schools, stuff like that.
You always hope for that kind of thing, and
I never doubted it.
it's an amazing thing when it materialises. When you get a phone call going, you're actually going on a European tour. You can't quite believe it.
Oh, yeah.
And even then, when you're doing it, you've got this hyper awareness, but nonetheless, it's like you've vacated your body.
I remember you gave me that phone call. Actually, that was a good phone call.
Yeah.
I think what you said. What did you say? You said, like, oh, I remember. It's pretty gay, but it was good.
I remember what I said. I said, Tom, you're going on a very long road trip around Europe.
What's been the highlight of your career so far?
Highlight of the career so far.
I think the most fun we've had was probably recording. We talked about it before. Going out to LA and I mean that was.
One of my on a similar note, one of my favourite few days being in this band was recording a few little bits with Paul Stacey. We spent like 2 days in a studio with a guy called Paul Stacey in London, and he's just got this tiny studio in where was it in London, like
Clapham or something, yeah. Chiswick, London.
We spent 2 days recording one song. And it was just fucking great.
I think my favourite thing, on a personal basis, was demos that we've made in our little houses in the north of England being listened to by music executives in New York, you know, Verve Records, prompting them to send us an envelope full of money, you know, that came with a note saying, look, here's some money so you can develop your ideas. Find yourself a studio, find yourself a producer, and go and make some songs and let us hear the results. So we'd go and record the songs and we'd send them to them and they'd go, that's very good, would you like to record some more songs? I think that's the highlight of my career, because I thought it was transcendent that you could go from your fucking living room to like New York City and then take that to Europe on tour with Noel Gallagher, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you could see a band in a year, where would it be?
Say again, so if you could see a band in the year, where would it be?
In another year's time, yeah.
It's the same as we are now, just with loads more fans, I guess.
I'd like the potential to be able to drown in my own swimming pool.
If you could describe the band in one word, what would it be?
Badass.
That's 2 words. Bad, just bad.
Yeah, bad.
But in a good way.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Meaning good.
not bad like, that's not very good though.
Could you say